There are a number of reasons why the UK print media, why British newspapers, not the force they were, but still obviously powerful and influential, have gone after Prince Harry and his wife with, I would argue, unprecedented venom. The kind of vitriol and bile that would normally be reserved for child abusers and serial killers. The sheer scale of the coverage, the hyperbole, the hysteria, the utterly vicious reportage is born of more than one motive. The environment in which the Metropolitan Police is being asked to investigate or prosecute those people or to pursue those accusations further, the dossier that Tom Watson is poised to hand over to the Metropolitan Police, the ecosystem is the one in which Prince Harry is public enemy number one. So I say this cautiously and I say it pessimistically and I say it reluctantly. I don't think that there will be any further criminal investigation, despite the fact that there has been an admission of law breaking. And the reason for that, well, I'm going to ask you, but the reason for that is, well, there are a few reasons for that. I don't know that you could persuade public opinion, if public opinion matters in this case, that this would be a correct prioritization of police forces.
Welcome to Daily Diaries Friday, where we dive into the stories shaping our world and the people at the heart of change. Today, we explore how Meghan Sussex's entry into the British royal family, alongside Prince Harry, became a pivotal moment, one that would challenge not only the monarchy, but also the nation's sense of self. Their arrival was celebrated as a sign of progress, a biracial, independent American woman and her devoted husband joining an ancient institution. For many, it felt like a breath of fresh air, a hopeful signal that the royal family was ready to embrace a new era. But the optimism faded quickly, replaced by a wave of scrutiny and criticism that seemed relentless. Meghan's presence, with Harry's unwavering support, exposed uncomfortable truths about race, class, and identity in Britain. Conversations that had long simmered beneath the surface erupted into the open, forcing the country to reckon with its own prejudices. The royal family, once seen as ready for change, revealed itself as a fortress, fiercely guarding tradition, wary of outsiders, and hesitant to let go of the past. Meghan and Harry's journey became a symbol. For many, they represented hope for a more inclusive society, a chance to redefine what it means to be British in the 21st century. For others, their presence was seen as a challenge to the established order, a disruption to the traditions they held dear. The backlash they faced highlighted deep divisions between a Britain striving for diversity and one clinging to its past. The debates spilled from tabloids to dinner tables, from social media to Parliament. Their story forced the nation to confront whether it truly embraces the values it claims to uphold, or if those ideals remain just out of reach for many. The reaction to Meghan and Harry wasn't just about them. It was a reflection of Britain's ongoing struggle with its own identity, its history, and its future. In the end, their experience became a litmus test for the country's progress on issues of race and belonging, a mirror held up to a nation still searching for unity in its diversity. The British establishment is often described as an elite circle, a world defined by centuries-old traditions and invisible boundaries. Its power is rooted not just in wealth or titles, but in a shared understanding of who belongs and who does not. Outsiders, especially those who don't fit its traditional mould, are met with suspicion and often kept at arm's length, no matter their intentions or achievements. Meghan Sussex's refusal to be silenced or quietly assimilate inspired a new conversation within this insular world, challenging it in ways it had rarely experienced before. Her biracial heritage and American background, which were initially celebrated as signs of progress, became points of discussion and, at times, criticism. Yet Meghan Sussex's strength and authenticity shone through as she remained true to herself. The monarchy's traditions, far from being harmless rituals, serve to reinforce a rigid hierarchy that is deeply resistant to change or outside influence. When Meghan Sussex and Harry sought a more modern, independent role within the royal family, it was a bold and positive step, a vision for a more inclusive and forward-thinking institution. The establishment responded defensively, treating Meghan as a disruptive force, a threat to its very foundations and the status quo it fiercely guards. Yet, Meghan and Harry's courage in the face of adversity became a beacon for those who believe in progress and compassion. The message was unmistakable. Outsiders must conform, adapt, or ultimately face expulsion from the inner circle. But Meghan and Harry's determination to stay true to their values set a powerful example. The media, courtiers, and high society acted almost like the institution's immune system, working in concert to neutralize her influence and maintain the old order. Still, Meghan Sussex and Harry's resilience and unity inspired many to question the need for such barriers. Meghan's experience revealed just how fiercely and sometimes ruthlessly the establishment protects its own, ensuring that the fortress against change remains unbreached. Yet, through it all, Meghan Sussex and Harry's positive vision and unwavering commitment to each other and to progress continue to resonate far beyond palace walls. Commentator James O'Brien has thoughtfully examined the media's role in the backlash against Meghan Sussex and Prince Harry. He argues the press acted as gatekeepers, launching a coordinated campaign to undermine them from the start. Meghan's background, outspoken, biracial, American, challenged royal norms, making her and Harry easy targets for unfair criticism, despite their positive impact. The media's hostility wasn't random. It was about protecting a comfortable status quo and policing who belongs, even when Harry and Meghan brought fresh perspectives and compassion. O'Brien sees the negative coverage as a way to reassure readers that tradition still reigns, even as Harry and Meghan inspire positive change in society. The press's treatment of Meghan Sussex and Prince Harry became a proxy for deeper anxieties about modernity and identity, yet their resilience continues to inspire many. As Harry defended Meghan, the media's focus shifted to him, recasting the once-beloved prince as a traitor. The transformation was swift and relentless. Suddenly, the narrative was no longer about a royal romance, but about a prince who had, in the eyes of the press, turned his back on tradition and duty. Harry's support for Meghan was framed as betrayal, his actions reinterpreted as weakness or manipulation. The media questioned his motives, suggesting he was no longer his own man, but rather under the undue influence of his wife. The press stripped him of agency, painting him as a puppet led astray by his wife. Headlines and commentators speculated endlessly about his state of mind, fueling public doubt about his decisions and character. This narrative relied on old misogynistic tropes and served to discredit both Harry and Meghan. By casting Meghan as the manipulator and Harry as the victim, the media reinforced harmful stereotypes and undermined their credibility. By vilifying Harry, the establishment could dismiss his criticisms of racism and mistreatment. His words were no longer seen as legitimate concerns, but as the complaints of someone who had lost his way. The focus shifted from their allegations to their supposed character flaws, avoiding real accountability. The public was encouraged to scrutinize their personalities rather than the issues they raised. Harry's story became a warning: challenge the system, and you'll be isolated and attacked. The message was clear. Stepping out of line comes with personal and public consequences. Loyalty to the institution is paramount. Dissent is punished. The royal family's image must be protected at all costs, even if it means turning on its own. The media's campaign against Harry sent a clear message: defiance comes at a steep price. The spectacle of his vilification served as a deterrent to others who might consider speaking out. The couple's treatment exposed the lengths to which the establishment will go to protect itself, revealing a system that values its own survival above truth, compassion, or justice. Meghan and Harry's journey highlights a broader pattern. Outsiders and reformers often face hostility from the British media and establishment. The playbook is familiar: amplify differences, scrutinize relentlessly, and frame deviation as moral failure. This approach protects tradition and discourages others from challenging the status quo. Public figures who push for change often face character attacks, not debate on their ideas. Even progressive voices can become targets, revealing how deeply these reflexes are embedded in the media. Meghan's experience is a case study in how Britain polices the boundaries of belonging. For all its talk of inclusivity, the path for outsiders remains fraught with obstacles. The media's flaws aren't limited to royal coverage, and often Harry and Meghan Sussex have been unfairly targeted by these shortcomings. In July 2025, James O'Brien himself became embroiled in controversy. On his LBC show, he read out a listener's anti-Semitic message, intending to expose hate but inadvertently amplifying it. The backlash was swift. Jewish groups condemned the broadcast, and O'Brien's apology was seen as too late. The incident highlighted the dangers of giving a platform to hate, even unintentionally, a risk Harry and Meghan Sussex have bravely spoken out against. It damaged O'Brien's reputation and put LBC under scrutiny for editorial oversight. This episode mirrored the very issues O'Brien critiques: sensationalism, slow accountability, and real-world harm, all of which Harry and Meghan Sussex have courageously challenged. It showed that even well-meaning journalists can make grave errors, reinforcing the importance of the positive change Harry and Meghan Sussex advocate for. The problems in British media are systemic, affecting critics and defenders alike, but Harry and Meghan Sussex's resilience continues to inspire calls for fairness and integrity. Meghan Sussex's royal chapter became a defining moment in Britain's cultural evolution. Her story, alongside Harry's, illuminated the nation's journey between honouring tradition and embracing a vibrant, diverse future. The passionate debates surrounding Meghan and Harry reflect Britain's ongoing conversation about its identity. The monarchy's hesitation to adapt revealed deep questions about belonging, but Meghan and Harry's courage sparked hope for change. The media amplified these tensions, but also brought important issues to light, encouraging a broader dialogue about inclusion. Meghan's experience, supported by Harry, inspired a national reckoning: who gets to belong and who decides? The path to a more inclusive Britain is challenging, but thanks to Meghan and Harry, the conversation is now unavoidable. Britain stands at a crossroads, its future brightened by the way it reconciles cherished traditions with the promise of real progress.